talking brain, enlightened minds, seeking out truths, seeing the world with the mind of those who see beyond the three-dimensionally. So, talking brain, ask the right questions, uncovers the blinds.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to
Souls Talking Brain.
In Prime Time, baby.
Prime time.
Very, very, very exciting. This is our premiere prime time show. And
Prime time. This is a brand new time. Prime time, new time.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Every second Wednesday.
That's right. That's our new show.
How does it feel to you to be 7 p.m.?
It feels great. It feels really, really great.
Feels a little sexy.
Yes. We were broadcasting before. Souls Talking Brain show was going every second Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today is the premiere of us going forward at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every second Wednesday. Woohoo!
Very exciting. And we also have something else that's very exciting for
Yes,
today.
we do. Yes,
Another
we do.
premiere. It's two premieres in one. I don't know if you can get any more phenomenally fabulous than that. So today we have another premiere, which is, I'm going to allow our tech guru queen who figured it all out, tell you all the magnificence.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you. Really. First and foremost, the biggest of the biggest news is that we've got a very, 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 very special guest today, right here, right now, joining us live on Souls Talking Brain show here on Being Love TV. And that is Harrison Klein.
Woo! Harrison Klein, underground master. He's not really underground, is he? But we'll give him the title, anywho. Underground master of the beingness effect and alignment factor towards your manifest abundance. Live today, right here, right now. And if you see the fabulous address there, myalignmentfactor.com/beingness, that is your gateway.
Woo! Yes, it is. I'm excited for today's show, actually.
I'm blissed beyond.
Yes.
Blissed. So, new prime time.
Yeah.
And we have this fabulous new, amazing technological add-on to the show, which is that we can have special guests via Skype vocally.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving on up, honeys. We're at the vocal. Soon we'll be at the video and the vocal. But what a blissful delight for us to be able to welcome and introduce to all of you Harrison Klein. So without further ado, should we give him a call and see if he's there?
Yes,
this is so exciting. Shall we go see if he's there now?
So we're going to be calling in Harrison, Mr. The Fabulous Harrison Klein right now. As we
can you hear?
Join us on
Do you hear?
Skype.
We're calling. Ring, ring. Harrison?
Hi, Roni. How are you doing?
I'm fabulous, Harrison. How are you doing?
I'm doing exceptionally well. Wonderful, terrific, amazing, phenomenal, outstanding, incredible, awesome, turned on, tuned up, tweaked, happy, authentic, having a great time, living authentically. It's a great day in South Florida, and I am enjoying the hell out of it. It is wonderful, and that's how I am this day.
That is sensational. Sensational. Did I tell you we had a special guest or what?
You have a special guest? Who's that?
That would be you, my love. That would be you.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, we deeply appreciate you being able to take time out of your day today to be able to be here with us and with everyone and to share in the massive amounts of wisdom insight and delights about life and beingness that you have to share with all of we. It is quite a phenomenal blessing on our part to be able to be the conduit through which your wisdom is being shared. So thank you so very much.
You know what? I love what you do. I love the whole title of Being Love TV. You know, I be loving it. Yes, I do. Because it is such a wonderful, expansive thing to get into this state of joy and love and being, and to understand where it's coming from and what we can do with it and what we are, because in this world we get what we are, not what we want. So as we be love, be the Being Love TV, as we be love, all things unfold in our favor and in the universe's favor for the highest good, consistently and for everyone.
That Aline and I are just breathless right now listening to you. I just love what you just said. You get what you are, not what you want. That is fabulous. So I suppose being love to you is getting love.
Being love, to me, is everything. Love is a state of, it's an internal state of, desire, substance, knowingness, adoration, appreciation, joy, and connectedness. It's that place inside of us that is the expansion of all things and the joy in all things. It's a wonderful, extraordinary place to be, and an extraordinary ability to tap into this substantial building block of the universe. So that's what love is to me, and it just keeps expanding and expanding and expanding, and it's always unconditional, and it's all inclusive to everyone and everything. Because we are all living, breathing, conscious beings, everything. There's no such thing as something that doesn't have life. The entire universe is brimming with life. Every square inch of space in it is alive with consciousness, love, and joy, and expressing that on a consistent basis and animated according to the way we see it and the way that we experience it.
Wow. Wow. Harrison, I have to say that I have goosebumps all over me right now.
Me too.
Yeah. I bet. That was the most beautifully stated, Harrison, and most beautifully stated, and we are so honored right now that you are here with us on Soul Talking Brain Show, expressing such words of wisdom on being love, on what it is to be love.
Right. Yeah, it's my pleasure. I love doing it. That's what we're here. We're all here for each other, So the more we can educate and interconnect and find our truths and find the universal truth, the greater we all become. And there is nothing greater to experience than joy and expansion, because those are the two reasons we're here. How we do that is our choice, but those are the reasons we're here, bar none. That is it. So,
Harrison, you've got a few different means by which you have created to assist people to be love and to be love in their lives on a consistent basis, and therefore to be able to welcome into their lives the lives that they want as opposed to the lives that they don't want, or to be being whom they are and therefore attracting that which they are as far as that which they desire. So some of those things I know you have. One is the alignment factor, and the other the beingness effect. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. Well, the alignment factor has to do dramatically and with our awareness, Roni and Aline. It has to do with our conscious, our subconscious, and our superconscious. And the greatest creative forces become available when our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious selves are in harmony in their choices. I mean, we make them so by raising our consciousness and awareness to all three levels of ourself. And we become aware and conscious of things we used to do subconsciously before. So we can do this by really only deciding to be aware, decide to be mindful and deliberate by watching our thoughts and actions and dreams, instead of walking about daydreaming in a daze and doing things on automatic. I mean, it's also a good idea to consider, meditation. These are some of the ways that we increase our awareness, and our self makes choices all the time. And our consciousness and our subconscious and superconscious are three separate entities that exist alive within us that have particular functions in our animation on this planet, and our being animated and alive on this planet. And each one makes separate decisions. When they are not in congruency or when they are not in harmony, we don't get to be what we don't get to experience what it is that we want to experience, or we get a distortion of it, or not at all. When they're in harmony, it is like water flowing through a hose. It's absolutely clear, wonderful, cool, refreshing, and gives us what we want and need at every moment. So we make choices consciously and subconsciously. Some can increase our awareness of our subconscious by simply deciding to be aware and bringing our past and all of our thoughts into our conscious state, because our consciousness only has two purposes, and that is to make choice and to focus. Our subconscious takes care of everything else in our life experience, and that is, like the beating of our hearts, the coursing of the blood through the veins.
The autonomic,
Autonomic everything. The subconscious takes care of all that. And then our higher consciousness, or our super consciousness, if you will, that takes care of our well-being. It only has one purpose, and that's our well-being. And what it does is, once we have a signal from our conscious choice and our subconscious congruency, the superconscious goes out into the matrix, really, and it seeks out the experiences, the information, the events that make our lives to become what they are. So it really sends us those people, it sends us that information, it sends us all the things we need to achieve whatever our request is, very simply. And it's not linear. We don't always know how that's being done, and it's not even ours to want to know, really, to want to experience. Or we can want to, but we'll never know the exact way that it functions, because it's a higher universal force. So what it does is it sends us back everything we need in order to achieve or to accept or to allow the things that we desire to come into our lives. And when these three things are acting harmoniously, congruent with each other, they actually create an additional force where they become one, and they call that supra-consciousness. It's a synergy, and it's the sum is greater than the sum of the parts. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and the super-consciousness is a oneness with all things, and then whatever it is we desire, all things act in harmony to get that for us. So It's a very clear sense of being, and that being ultimately, when they're in harmony, is really love. Is the unfolding of love.
Wow. And so we had a play shop, Aline and I, a couple of weekends ago, and someone had brought up and made the statement, which is very much in kind with what we're speaking to today, regarding this alignment, which is what you ask for, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, the universe will provide. So if you are being angry or being depressed or being upset, then I suppose, in accordance to your triad, the super consciousness would be going out into the matrix and basically bringing to you experiences that would allow for you to play those thoughts, feelings out, as opposed to if you were being love, then the super consciousness would be going out into the matrix and basically putting your order in for love. And so
things connected to love, whatever that experience happens to be, whether it be wealth or joy or happiness or money or a lover or a career or a relationship or a particular thing that you want to experience, such as a boat ride or a luxury vacation or whatever the case may be.
Right.
The way that it works is really pretty simple, and that is that the universe, and this is the thing to know about all that, the universe does not discriminate. Our lives are really the thoughts and images of our minds projected into physical form. So it comes through us from the internal state, projected into the physical form. It goes through a vortex of the heart, which then manifests it into the world that we experience. Now, the universe doesn't say yes to some thoughts and reward things because you're good, and no to other thoughts and punish things because you're bad or you're violent or anything else. It doesn't say no to anything. It honors you so much that if you want violence, or if you decide that you have violence in your life, or you decide you want to be depressed or experience depression as a road to your growth, then it honors that and will give you that. Or on the other hand, if you decide you want love as a road to your growth, or joy, or connection, or a particular kind of sexy lover, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, it works that way.
Yes.
We're liking the second choices. We are liking the second choices. We're gonna just take a little share moment. And when we come back, if you could maybe tell us how quantum resetting plays into all of this, that would be groovy. So everyone will be back in 2 flashes of a kiss.
Woo! We are back. Wonderful.
We are back.
Yes, we are. Thank you for that short moment. As always, as we are being love, we ask that we share the love, and by sharing the love, that all we are doing is creating more abundance and more love for everyone all around the world, including everybody in our universal family. And if you get to share this, you get to have all the abundance the same way as we are here. What we're doing here is we are being love, sharing the awareness, opening the forum for everybody to be love in this world. That is how we make the change, is by being the change. And today, right now, as we are back with our special guest, Harrison Klein, we want to ask you, Harrison, what is quantum resetting?
Good question. Quantum resetting is where we, I first have to, can I lay the groundwork for that a little bit?
Oh,
Of course.
please do.
Okay. Part of what most of us know that would be listening in on this broadcast would know that there is such a thing as a quantum field, and that is the unified field from which all life and all things arise. That is the place of creation, the seat of silence, the seat of sourceness, etc., etc. The quantum field is that place where it's just pure energy and information, and it is massive and it is wonderful. Now, we talked about, the universe, rewarding or not rewarding thoughts, but not rewarding thoughts. It's not like that. It simply just gives us whatever it is we decide to think. Well, quantum, in this lifetime, is basically the field from which we draw our experiences by our desire or by our statement of who we are. Now, we work with, very simply, the idea of I am, which are the 2 most powerful words in the universe, and they are bar none the most important thing you will learn on this planet. There is nothing more important than to learn the power of the I am, because it determines every experience we have forever on this planet. So the I am is really, it is the understanding of ourselves. It is a vibrational understanding of ourselves, and it is a declaration to the universe to be or to experience whatever it is that's attached to the words I am. So if we say I am a poor bike rider, we're going to experience clumsiness in riding a bike. If we say I am wonderful at math, we're going to experience the logic of mathematics. If we say I am a great lover, or I am a great salesperson, or I am a great entrepreneur, I am a great personality, we're going to experience those things. If we say I am clumsy, I am depressed, I'm broke, I hurt, we're going to experience those things. What you attach the words I am is the single most important signal to the universe to give you that experience. It takes that experience out to completion. That's the first place. So that's the foundation of what we're talking about. So to experience anything, everything comes from an I am. An I am sets up a self-image, and we have millions of self-images about everything. We have a self-image about the way we watch a clock, or write a sentence, or answer a telephone, or a self-image about how we talk to other people, a self-image about how we make love, a self-image about how much money we earn, so on and so forth. the I am, all that comes from the I am. It comes from the I am statement because that is your connection to the unified field. The I am is the unified field. When Moses went to God, or any of the other sages that ever existed went to God, his answer for who he is always, I am that I am, meaning I am all things. And that extends into us. Okay, so when we have an I am, we actually create a self-image. Now here's the psychological thing that's so important. We can never, ever, ever outperform our self-image once it's made. Once it's made, it determines our behavior, determines how we do things, because that is the statement to the universe of who we are. Bam, it just puts us into that box. Now, the only way to transcend that, okay, to quantum reset ourselves, to have greater wealth, to have greater love, to have greater experiences, to have more luxury things in our lives, to experience greater relationships, to experience deeper connections, so on and so forth, is to create new and bigger, more substantial I am. Or another way to say that is grander versions of ourselves. We simply ascend and we expand according to our I ams. So when we want to reset our lives from whatever, we want to make a course correction to something that is unpleasant to us, the easiest and fastest way is to be the change. And being the change is to reset your I am. In other words, to quantumly reset the I am by adding another statement, a bigger statement to the one you've already got. So if you're saying I am broke, you want to say I am wealth. If you're saying I am, experiencing depression, you want to say I am happy. We start to reset ourselves by how we use our I am. And all of us can look inside of ourselves and see the truth of this fact. So as we set our I ams, as we start to expand ourselves to see a bigger, more amazing, creative version of ourselves, the forces in the universe rally around your I am. It actually takes that out to completion. And the higher truth, or the grander version of yourself, will eventually, dissolve the lower version of yourself, because we're all on this spiral back to source, which is an upward spiral of expansion. And a greater version of yourself is the expanded you. It is the place of our happiness, it is the place of our love, and it is our connection with all things. So as we create new and bigger, more wonderful, more sensational I ams, we get that experience. And now our world is expanded. Now we have more wealth. Now we have more effectiveness. Now we have more impact. Now we have more influence. Now we have more ability. Now we have greater experiences of love. Now we put out more. Now we have energy beyond anything that we've known before, and it continuously flows through us and with us according to the I ams. Okay, so the I am to reset ourselves into bigger versions of ourselves. That is what I call quantum resetting.
Okay, so even if our entire lives we have been thinking from the perspective of a lesser I am, in changing how we complete the statement after those two very key words, I am, we can actually change the physically manifest experience of our lives.
The fastest way to create anything is to simply be. And the I am is the beingness of all things, meaning the isness. It was always here, it will always be here. Okay, that is the core of everything. The I am is the place of being. There's nothing before, nothing after. Okay, the I am is the place of being, right now, right here. And whatever we want to create from the I am comes from that place. So in order to reset ourselves or to grow ourselves, the greatest thing is to create a bigger version of ourselves, a grander version, by creating a self-image with a new I am. Okay, so I am wealth, I am joy, I am loving the experience of being wealthy, I am loving the experience of having, enormous amounts of money and plenty of everything. I am loving the experience of being abundant in my relationships where I love and people love me. I am loving this experience of being, influential. And then once we start an I am, the object is to not think about it, just be it. Okay? All of our thoughts, all of our words, all our actions after that should then be of that new state we choose to be. So if we're not wealthy and we want to become wealthy, just decide right now to be wealthy from this moment on, right now. Don't then start to think about it or how to get it. Just choose to be. And from then on, all of our thoughts, all of our words, our actions should be of a wealthy person. And because in ultimate reality, this is not a lie to us. I mean, we are wealthy. We have access to everything, and we are actually all things anyway, even though we may not be experiencing or only experiencing small sections of that all. So by choosing to be something else, to quantum reset ourselves through our I am, we cause our environment and our circumstance to shift to experience that new state. So this is the right way to do this, is to one way of creating in this world, which most of us are taught, and most of us who are in personal growth and development and into the secret of seeing the secret, is by our thoughts, our words, and our action. But that's a slow way to go about doing things. The fast way is to change our state. Being. So, for example, when we say we're hungry, that's a state. When we're confident, that's a state. We are being, okay? We need nothing outside of ourselves to be of a certain state. We need nothing outside of ourselves to acquire wealth, to acquire love, to acquire any sort of thing that we desire in this world. So it's much more effective to be a state than to make our being, than to go about trying to get something. Because once we are that thing, and we feel we're wealthy, we start to think wealthy, we start to speak wealthy, we start to act wealthy, for example. So we then have a hard time becoming anything but wealthy. I mean, if we feel poor and then we speak and act wealthy, we're going to experience, something not of wealth. But if we stay in that state of mind, all we have to do is hold that state of mind. That's all we have to do. In our state, which is how we feel about ourselves, our I am, our being is our I am, our declaration, and this is the fastest way to acquire anything, including wealth or love or whatever. And the way we change our state is simply to decide to change our state. Simple. And all of us know how to do it. We've done it before. It's like being unhappy and then simply deciding to be tired, that we're tired of being unhappy, and we just decide to be happy and we go out and have a good time. Everyone has done this before. So the thing is very, very simple. This is the crux of it. The universe doesn't want to fool us. There's no great mysteries out there. I mean, it simply is simple. So don't complicate it. For these people who are on this broadcast, do not complicate it. Simply be. I am happiness. I am joy. I am wealth. I am abundant. I am magnificent. I am sensational. I am incredible. I am having great relationships. I am deeply connecting with myself and other people. I am in connection with my higher self. I am an incredible human being that everybody loves and that I love everyone with. I am all these things. I am the universe. I am the galaxial influence that I always wanted to be, etc., etc. So we can do that with anything. We just remember to create the I ams and hold that state of being once we've declared it. That's all we have to do is hold it. We have to hold space for it. And we have nothing more to do. And then those things of that state start to come to us. Whatever we define as wealth will begin to come to us in whatever form we decide we want to have it. That make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So everyone should expect to experience massive success.
Yeah.
Always maintain that state of knowing that we have the experience of internal abundance, so whatever we want is available to us.
Yes, I completely agree, and it's funny because everybody does that, is doubted, but it is truth, and what we want in life is really equivalent to just knowing it, right?
That's right. We don't actually create anything. The truth of the matter is we don't actually create anything. What we do is
we just know.
We've always had it.
Exactly. It's exactly that. It's exactly that. We just have to know it, and that's how the same way as when we wish things and we say this is what we want and this is what I need or this is what I wish for. Is exactly the same thing as saying, well, this is what I expect. And expecting is that you know that it is. So there is no doubt. You already know it. It's the same thing as I am. You've declared it.
So we are. As we are, so is our world.
Yes.
I love that statement that Harrison had made at the very beginning. You don't get what you want, you get what you are.
Yeah.
Speaking of knowing and what we are and I am, I happen to know who our good deed doer is of this week. So why don't we let everybody else know, shall we?
Yes.
Oh, right.
In 2 seconds.
I try to picture the man, to always have an open hand, see him as a given tree, and see him as matter of fact. He's not a beast, no, not the devil either, always a good deed doer, where it's laughter that we're making after all.
Surprise,
Surprise!
surprise!
Yes.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
Fabulousness. So, as we are hearing Harrison speak, I'm sure that you're all hearing the wealth of wisdom from which he is speaking, the experience, but you may not know the experience that brought him the wealth of wisdom that he has. So included amongst the many, many experiences in Harrison's own life are the wonderful businesses that he has opened to assist everyone else in their own experience. And these include the Masters Gathering, which is actually how I became familiar with Harrison for the first time, Women, Power, and Purpose, True Millionaire Stories, 100 MX3 and Pro Abundance, all of which are specializing in transformations and awakening processes for each and every one of we to be able to manifest within our experience of beingness the life that we all deserve, which is the manifestation physically and upon all levels of our multidimensional beingness of our highest happiness. And if you would like to give yourself the assistance to take Harrison home with you so that you can have more than just this little tidbit that we're all getting right here and now, we highly, highly recommend that you go to the address, which is right near Aline's beautiful head.
And that is myalignmentfactor.com/beingness. So whatever you see on the screen, as it is, write it down, go to the address, punch it in, and you will see something that should be special. A special, special, wonderful, wonderful offering from Harrison Klein. And that would be, as you can see here on the screen, is a special offer. That's right. Special guests, special offers, special times, special gifts, and specialness all around. 90% off only for friends of Roni Lipstein, which is here on Being Love. Discover how to easily awaken your mind so that you can manifest or bring more love, success, and freedom than ever before.
And this is a very special, special offer for people, for the angels, you beautiful angels of our Being Love TV shows, Soul's Talking Brain, and anyone who watches this now or the recorded version, go to this address here. This is a gift that Harrison has given especially for us.
Yeah.
He's created this especially for us, this 90% off. So this is something that he sells to his wonderful angels that he traverses with for over $3,000 that he is giving away to us for $97, which just blows your mind. But that is what we're talking about here, which is blowing our minds into a new stratosphere of love, so that what we are creating in our lives is what we want to be creating, which is love.
Which is success, which is fortune, which is everything that we, every single individual on this planet, desires and wants. There's nothing more simple than that. And that which is assisting self, that which is assisting not only yourself, but everyone around. But, of course, first and foremost, the self, because that's where it begins. So go to the address in the bottom there, myalignmentfactor.com/beingness, and gift yourself this wonderful special offer here provided by the very special Harrison Klein here on Being Love TV on Soul's Talking Brain Show.
Woo! All right. Let's see what's going on with Harrison.
We didn't forget you, Harrison. You've been here, right?
I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. You guys are awesome. I'm with you.
So I know that we've been speaking about how we identify ourselves utilizing those two most powerful words, I am, and how we essentially, the way that we did when we were children, we allow ourselves to take on a role in completion and allow that to be our state of beingness in our mind and how we're feeling about ourselves. But are there any special methods or tools or resources that people will be enlightened to by following the alignment factor URL address that we have here, that you can give us maybe a little sneak peek into what we'll be sharing with everyone?
Absolutely.
Coolness.
We have a little echo thing. Consciousness is really being awake to knowing that we are. It is the I am. And that's consciousness. Consciousness is the ability to consciously know we are experiencing. And we need consciousness to feel our experiences, because without it, we won't know we are. And that's the path to evolution, rising consciousness. That's the game we all play, becoming more aware and more of our infinite selves. And that's growth. This is the soul work. Now, the seat of consciousness is in the heart, and consciousness is about feeling. I mean, how do we feel right now? The two most important questions you can ask on this planet at any given time are, who am I really? And then, what am I feeling right now? Feelings and emotions are the processing of our experiences. And the mind is simply a tool to create those experiences so that the consciousness can experience and hold that thought. Okay? It becomes clearer as we progress. So let's look at how I've designed this particular course, or this particular set of modules, in order to bring us to the state of consciousness, or higher consciousness, if you will. And what I've done is I've created a series of 6 modules, each one building subsequently on the previous module.
Okay.
We talk about the images of the mind. I mentioned that our lives are truly the images and thoughts of our mind projected into the physical world, because the law of the universe is that the physical follows the spiritual, and the spiritual, it follows our consciousness, and our consciousness comes from our being, our beingness, okay, or I am. Okay, so when we have an I am, when we have a beingness, it is the thing that creates our thoughts. Okay, it sponsors the thoughts we think. And as it sponsors the thoughts we think, we then begin to speak those thoughts, we begin to think those thoughts, see those thoughts, experience those thoughts in our mind and in our hearts. And we then start to then vibrate at a particular level in order to make those kinds of things experience. Sometimes we dissipate, sometimes we give it no energy, but the more energy we give it, it's really energy in motion, or emotion, which is our vibration. So
I love that you just said that. Emotion is energy in motion. I love that. That is fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous. And so again, you're saying it really does come back to when at the very beginning, it really comes back to us making the choice with respect to the I am. Like, that's where it really all begins. Yes?
That is where it all begins.
Okay.
That is the first cause. That's the first cause of everything. Being is the first cause. And it is creating a state. Okay, so creating a state of mind. Remember, the thought comes from being. A state of being is what causes thought. So once we understand how these things work, it takes no time to be, but thought takes time to do things into being. So being is really the first cause. It's the fastest way to wealth, to health, to everything. I mean, it's an instant change, instantaneous. This is what separates my teachings from almost all the other teachings out there. It is an instantaneous change, because we are tapping directly into the unified field. And so once we understand this beingness, that we're tapping into the unified field, then we go through a process of creation, if we want to call it creation, but it's more like realization. It's more the fact that there's a prime law to the universe, and that is the law of cause and effect. So what I teach in this course that I am sharing with your listeners here, and we go into it in quite some depth, is how the images of the mind are a blueprint for how we experience our lives. We start to think, we start to speak, and we start to act in particular ways according to our I ams. And at a certain point, thought is cause and actions are effect. And we can't escape. We can't work on effect by acting our way into something. We can only first set up a cause, and the being is the first cause of everything. So we work with the idea of being. Then we work with the idea of understanding the goals, the thoughts and images of our mind, because those are our instructions. Our thinking and our speaking are the instructions to our subconscious. Okay, and that's how things start to work and manifest and walk into the vortex. Once we have the cause in motion, which is the most important thing, because it's more important to have a cause than just effect. Effect by itself is like jumping into the water, crashing your arm, and wanting to get to either side. It doesn't work. You have to have a direction and a motion, and you have to have a desire. So we start from the beingness. We start to understand that our lives are the images of our mind, which are the blueprints of our lives, images and thought, and we start to build this vehicle through our goals, through our understanding of actions, through our understanding of effects. We then add, once we build this Ferrari of who we are, this magnificent I am, whatever that happens to be in each of our experiences, in each of our desires, once we start to build that thing, then I give you the tools that make that thing happen more acceleratedly, which is our sense of certainty. Our sense of certainty is the fuel that moves every car forward, the gasoline. So,
which is exactly what Aline was saying, right? Which is exactly what you and Aline were discussing earlier, that knowing and expectation from the I am, right? It's taking it to that next level of, you make the statement, you allow yourself to feel it in its completion, you allow yourself to act as though everything that you are stating as your I am statement is in your present now, and then you do so with a knowledge and expectation of it actually physically manifesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I teach you how to have that certainty in gobs and plenty. It's a very specific situation that we can create simply by our desire to do it in specific, and we can do it in a certain way. And that sets in motion the law of cause and effect, which is the prime law of the universe. As you sow, so shall you reap. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
You know, what we give, we get. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, or the conservation laws of energy. The laws of cause and effect are the primary laws that hold the universe together. It's the glue that holds everything together. And without using it consciously and deliberately, we actually are at the mercy of random sort of thoughts and ideas and the collective and all the influences that we are unconscious of or below our awareness with, which is really our mental collective. Okay? And then we teach that, you know, we can never fail because everything that we want gets sent to us anyway. We just aren't always conscious of the things we are or the things we want. But here's the thing. There are no limitations. And so every limiting belief, no matter what that is a lie. It's a lie. So once we start to recognize the synchronicity of the fact that once we have a thought that is a limiting belief, meaning I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm too fat, I'm too small. Every time we have a limiting belief, it is a complete and utter lie. We are limited, unlimited beings. We exist in this universe for the purpose of expansion, and we have all the same powers as Source. And in the same way that He has them, the only difference between Him and us is that He created us and we didn't create Him. But by extension, in the same way that a ray of light is always connected to the sun, we are always connected to Source and have the same powers. So the ray of light that carries the light always is us that carries Source. So we can do anything that Source can do, you know, in collaboration, in co-creation with Him. So it's a very, very simple experience once we understand that. Then I teach you, then from that point, we build our Ferrari, we put the fuel in, and then I teach you how to go from there, you know, the higher thing. What are we here for? What's our purpose for being on this planet? Which is the question that all of us want to know. And if we haven't answered that, we're missing a great deal of joy, because once we find our purpose, our life becomes very, very joyful, because everything flows from that thing. So we talk about, you know, what it's all about. What is our purpose? How do we get here? And we end up going to the understanding of God, really, the self, the architect of the universe, our connection with the all that is. And then we go to the place of abundance and joy, because that is the ultimate place that we all want to get to, no matter what level of evolving we get to. We are always about, you know, happiness and joy and abundance. So that is expansion. That is the expansion. And that's what this course is designed to do. It is designed to take you right through that process at a very deep level, so that you are anchored and cellularly integrated into this understanding, so that you never again have to worry or believe anything. Because once you know something, you don't have to worry about how it's done, because you know how it's done.
You know it, yeah. You know it already, exactly. And how amazing is this, Harrison, that you've created this this wonderful system, and that you get to walk through with people that get to choose to join this program, and to actually benefit in such a way. Like it, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for doing what you're doing, Harrison, because what you're doing is uh, is is what we are all here to know. Actually, not to do, but to know, right? Because really, to be, and that is to be, and that is what we are here to know, to be, and that is what that is what you created, and that is what my alignment factor is the beingness effect is about, and what a tremendous gift that would be for anyone who does join and take this opportunity to walk through the journey of that which you have created. I think it's amazing, and I think that just hearing you speak right now and how inspired I do feel, and this is just me. So I feel incredibly inspired and incredibly motivated just hearing you speak. So I can't even imagine what it will be like to walk this path of the beingness effect with you. So that's just amazing.
Well,
it's called awakening, and we experience what we're awake to. We cannot experience what we're asleep to.
Totally.
So once we awake, when we awake to the things of wealth, we experience wealth. When we awake to the experiences of love, we awake to love. When we wake to the experiences of whatever it is we desire, okay, we then experience that thing. We can't experience anything we're not awake to, and that's what consciousness is all about.
Yeah.
It's about waking up into the experiences that we desire and using that rising experience to tap further and further into our infinite, unlimited, internal self. And that's the game we all play. That's why we're all here. Becoming more and more of our infinite self.
It's very much, actually, if we can put on so people can see that wonderful page that they know that they're getting this fabulousness.
Mm-hmm.
This is very much speaking to what Aline and I speak to on a regular basis through varying different modalities and viewpoints. But essentially, we've all been, you're saying asleep, we say conditioned. Fear-based conditioning has been the norm for the last millennia, definitely for the last few millennia. And human beings have been conditioned to be experiencing life and to be in a state of beingness that is one that is based within fear. And this program that you have created, Harrison, which is the alignment factor for one's beingness, is a route that is so powerfully amazing with respect to allowing people to see just where they have been conditioned with regards to being in a state of fear as opposed to one of love and one of assistance and uplifting self to be where one wants to be, and actually how to take the steps necessary to break the conditioning and to allow for new habits to be formed that are habits that are of assistance to us. And what a remarkably humbling gift to be able to receive on behalf of everyone this offer that you've given. So deeply grateful, because this really is what Being Love TV is all about, and you are providing something that is so unbelievably wonderful with respect to manifesting physically the changes that we speak to that are actually happening right now in our world overall, but to be able to consciously take a step to making those changes assists not only the self, as Aline was saying, but everyone on our planet. So, wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of fear, it's a very simple thing to overcome fear, though most people don't even understand really what the nature of it is. And once you understand it, it eliminates it. If you have the tool to eliminate it, or the tools to eliminate it, it becomes a non sequitur, it becomes non-experience in your life. So, you may always experience waves of it, but you know that there's nothing that can hold you back. You are an unlimited being. And the cause of fear, or the root of fear, if you will, in every way, is the idea that we can't handle what we're anticipating to handle, what's becoming in front of us, or what it's presenting. That is what creates fear. And what we have to understand is that fear is really false evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it. And once we understand that, it's not real, we're not going to experience that thing unless we invite it in, whatever that happens to be, when we just simply act against or to act in the highest, which is more important, which serves us better, when we simply realize that that the only thing that's happening is the anticipation that we can't handle it, and the truth is we always can handle it because it came from us. It always comes from inside of us, and so if it comes from us, we're always bigger than whatever that fear is.
Exactly. And you know what, though? I don't mean to interrupt, but fear in and of itself is not only illusory, it is non-existent. Fear is really, we are fearing something that hasn't even happened. So it's, and we all do it, right? And that's because we've been conditioned for centuries, actually. Millennia.
Yeah. The whole understanding of enlightenment and awakening is to disengage the illusion. And fear is the illusion.
Yes.
It is the fear of the illusion. And so we continuously disengage all the forms of fear as we become more and more awake, as we become more and more alive, as we experience ourselves in true courageousness and true life-giving force in this essence of source that we are able to radiate to all people. And what we desire is our reward every single time. There's no negative to that, whatever it is we're desiring. And so as we start to desire consciously, in other words, what we want to experience, we co-create it. And we create it in exactly the way we do it, but we do it deliberately, and that's the key. We walk into this thing on a deliberate basis as opposed to a default basis.
Yes.
So
that's the heart of it all. That's the heart of it all.
Yes.
So we're getting very close to the end of the show, and we have this little segment that we call Going with the Flow cards. And there's these cute little cards that we've got different things on them that we do based upon which card we land on, like positive affirmations, a little guided meditation, for example, some astrological guidance with Aline. So Harrison, we normally ask our wonderful angels who are watching to give us a number from 1 to 10. But as you are here with us, vocally live, would you please do us the honor of giving me a number from 1 to 10?
7.
All right, so 1.
Nice number.
2. 3.
That's right.
4.
That's greater than 7, yes.
5. 6. 7. And we landed on Guru Love. Can you all see that, lovelies? So Guru Love is when we take quotes from recognized enlighteners, from those whom are assisting the all with transcending, transforming, and manifesting physically their highest happiness. And I would have to say that we have with us some Guru Love here on our show today. So Harrison, our Guru of Love, is there anything that you would like to say in leaving everyone with any special words of wisdom that you would like to inspire within us as we all take leave and go off to
reflect
and then manifest into our lives all of the wonderful things that you're speaking to here this evening with us?
Energy comes to us all from the non-physical realm and into the physical realm. And as we perceive this energy by our states of being, because we have created the direction and the form that it takes, as we perceive that, we begin to be able to assemble our perception and our experiences according to our deliberate desire. And more recently, we actually begin to know the highest form of what is going on within us, which then creates our world. So the whole thing is that, when we get together to understand the laws of the universe, when we get together to understand the connections, the interconnections of all things, when we get together to express this wonderful vibration of our ascension, where we are all moving in this upward spiral back to source in truth, and creating truth, and seeing truth, and experiencing truth in the way that it is, because when you disengage the illusion, what's left is reality, and reality is way more vivid than the illusion it could ever be. And so the illusion is like a fog. So as we go through this process of elevating ourselves, creating this higher consciousness, we experience what we're awake to, and we experience everything that we want to be awake to, and it becomes, we step into, and we are released into our infiniteness of being. And that's the whole process of everything. So, we work from that place, and, I believe in multiple lifetimes of people knowing and connecting with each other. All things happen for a reason, and people who are on this call with us, as well as you and I, Roni and Aline, we wouldn't be here if we weren't so, if we weren't connected in some way, which means that we are always and always have been friends. Okay, so I can uniquely and unequivocally say to the people here that, and to us in harmony and joy, I love you folks. I mean, you are absolutely awesome. We are always and forever love and connected. So that's what I want to say. So all I do is help to contribute to that understanding and that deep cellular integration. And I show, and I want to, that's all I want to do in this world, and that's my purpose for being here in this world, is to help people integrate that into higher and deeper levels so that they are much more grander than they ever thought they were, and experience all the levels of themselves at the highest they can possibly ascend to.
Wow. Absolutely.
Lots of wows today, huh?
I'm so taken, and this is exactly what we're doing here, and the fact that we've got Harrison Klein here today is exactly this. This is to inspire. And if you're feeling what I'm feeling, and if you're hearing and listening to all this, and I know that's a lot, and for some people it might be something that is not something that they hear every day. It is a lot to take in, but it's so simple. And this is the very reason we are here. We are here to assist one another. We are here to love ourselves, therefore each other. And yes, we come from the same seed. We come from source. We are each other's brothers and sisters and parents. We are each other. We are a mirror reflection of each other. And everyone who is watching and hearing the show today, and also the recorded ones, if you get to see it later, is really just that, is give yourself the gift to make the change, to allow yourself to do and be that which you want to be, which is in every sense of the way is really being love. Because if you are being love, then you are being everything and anything.
Speaking of being love, I would like to send out some love to Marbeth and Mars Kira. Thank you, lovely angel goddesses, for shining your light and sharing your words of love with us during the show. Sorry we didn't get an opportunity to bring you forward more, but next time. And for now, we would like to thank you, Harrison, so very much for opening your heart and sharing so openly and gifting, actually, we'll put it on, such a wonderful gift to everyone. The alignment factor gift that you are giving to everybody. Thank you so very much. It is so generous. And again, everything that we do here, we do for the benefit of all. One of the main reasons that Harrison has chosen to give this unbelievably enormous gift to all of us is for the very reason that we ask you to share the show. Yeah. The more of we that are doing what we are here to be doing, the easier shall it be for everyone to do what they are here to do, to be whom they are here to be. And not one of us came here to be anything other than blissfully, happily serene. Not any one of us is anything other than love. And what we're all doing right now is awakening to that truth. And this is why, if you're wondering what such an amazingly awesome gift, why, how could a being who's receiving over $3,000 for something give it away for nothing, basically? That's why. Because you're worth it. And every single one of us is worth it. And each one of us who is taking the steps necessary to love self is doing so on behalf of all of us. So take the steps necessary.
Yeah.
We love you very, very much. Harrison, thank you so very much on behalf of Aline and myself.
Yes, Harrison, thank you. I'm eternally and fully grateful to you, and I love you.
Very nice. We
I'm sorry?
we love you all, and we send forth intentional energy that your highest happiness be manifest within our eternal now. Blessedly be.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
We have it all. There is no question that we have everything. All we have to do is tap into it. Life is joy and joy is life. And you guys are a great embodiment of that. You guys are pure love and pure joy. And that's what we're all here to do. We're all here to have success. And life is joy and joy is life. And let's experience all that awakening so that anything that we want, anything that we are, we want to become, we can have. Because being and having are the same thing. So, these are some great tools to help you get there, or to realize that you're already there is a better way to say that.
Yes.
So, I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Harrison. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You've sealed the deal of my love. I love you guys.
That's right. We send forth yes, love. We send forth love onto everyone, each and every one of you who is watching right now, whenever that may be. That may you be love always here on Soul Talking Brain. We'll come back every second Wednesday, so we'll be back in 2 weeks at a new time at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Being Love TV. Until next time, Harrison, thank you. And every one of you, thank you. All love, sending forth positive energy.
Thanks for having me.
Souls, talking brain, enlightened minds, seeking out truths, seeing the world with the mind of those who see beyond the three-dimensionally. Souls, talking brain, ask the right questions, uncover